Weirdest things that the Victorians did. While the Victorians gave us many wonderful inventions, it has to be said that they were a weird bunch of people. I'm sure at the time, the world would have felt terribly civilized, having graduated from the Dark and Middle Ages. But by today's standards, the traditions and practices of the Victorian era were seriously peculiar. Here are some of the weirdest things that the Victorians did. If you were looking for a good evening of entertainment in the Victorian period, what could be more fun than unraveling a dead corpse? In 1834, Thomas Pettigrew's Egyptian mummy unraveling event was definitely the place to be. The Royal College of Surgeons, who were lucky enough to bag themselves a ticket to the event, watched as Pettigrew slowly unrolled an authentic Egyptian mummy before their eyes. Demand was so high that the fledgling tourist industry in Egypt transported mummies from the least visited places of the country to place in their more popular ruins, in order to satisfy foreign visitors. It was said that it was hardly respectable for one to return from a trip to Egypt without a mummy in one hand, and a crocodile in the other. As if their fascination with mummified corpses wasn't enough, the Victorians also had a strange tradition of taking pictures with fresh corpses too. Often the dead body of a loved one. The family would splash out on having a photo taken of them. But they didn't want a boring picture of their dead body just lying there looking lifeless. They wanted them to be sitting or even standing up, in their best outfit and wearing all their finest jewelry. They would prop up the corpse with pillows or even use a special post-mortem photography stand to keep them upright, and have them posing as if they were still alive. And often the rest of the family would join in on the picture too. Even children whose siblings had died were made to sit and pose for a picture with their lifeless bodies. Corsets, as we know, were a popular commodity during the Victorian era, with most women wearing them in some form. But things did start to get silly during the period. Some women took the practice of wearing corsets to the extreme, and competed with each other for the most freakishly small waist. Rearranging their organs into unnatural positions to achieve an extreme, hourglass figure. It's no wonder that so many women fainted in those days, as some waists were as tiny as 14 inches. You can only imagine the discomfort and long-term damage these ladies did to themselves, all in the name of fashion. These days, diet pills are a popular choice for helping people to lose weight. But how many of us would consider a pill that contained a tapeworm egg? That was exactly what many Victorians did. The idea was that the egg would hatch in the stomach of its host, and would ingest some of the food that the person ate, reducing the calories being absorbed into the person's body. Besides being disgusting, this was also very dangerous, as tapeworms can potentially damage internal organs. Once the parasite was fully grown, it needed to be removed. This was no easy task. One method involved inserting a cylinder with food down the digestive tract. It comes as no surprise that many patients choked to death before the tapeworm was successfully removed. Other methods included trying to lure the worm out through the back passage with food or liquid, or ingesting dangerous substances to kill the worm. Children playing with dolls isn't particularly strange to people in the 21st century. There are even some adults who like to play with dolls. But in Victorian times, dolls were used as a replacement child for grieving parents who had lost a child of their own. Because of the high mortality rate in those days, it was much more common for parents to lose a child to sickness or disease. For wealthier families, it was customary to have a mourning doll, that looked like the deceased child that they had lost. As if that wasn't creepy enough, they would sometimes take the child's hair and put it on the doll's head to add authenticity. The doll would then be placed in the child's bed, or crib, have its clothes changed, and be cared for like a real child in order to help the parents cope with their loss. When we think of taxidermy, we usually think of a stag's head on the wall or a beloved stuffed pet. Some people think that's weird enough. But the Victorians liked to get creative with their taxidermy. Why just stuff one animal, when you can mix and match and create something completely new? Victorians didn't just consider taxidermied animals as stylish decorations for their homes. They also thought that dead animal headwear was incredibly fashionable too. Well, that's it for this video. Which thing did you find the strangest? Let me know in the comments section, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.